Heyo! And what is up, gang? Thank you so much for joining us here on the channel again today for our conclusion to our coverage of the first ever Mae Young Classic. And we are gonna do that right here and right now on the newest, fastest rising podcast in all of YouTube, the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Let's do it.
Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
Alright, wrestling fans, thank you once again so much for joining me here again today. My name is Nick Nightmare. I am joined with the World Heavyweight Champion of Microphones, Blue the Snowball Microphone, and we are here to bring to you our continued and finally concluding coverage of the Mae Young Classic. 32 women from all over the world. 31 matches. Some better than others. Some were quite frankly stinkers, but most of them and most of this tournament was very, very good. Absolutely fantastic display of talent in this tournament. Show-stealing performances by Tessa Blanchard and Bianca Belair that need to be seen, and these girls most definitely need a spot on the NXT roster immediately. They were unbelievably impressive, and I could not wait to see more of both of these girls after the impressive outings that they had. Also, breakout stars were born in Piper Niven, Toni Storm, and Dakota Kai. Three absolutely unbelievably talented individuals, premier athletes that you will see unlike any other. Each one of them vastly different from the other. Their talent and skill sets are off the charts. Other impressive performances of note: Rhea Ripley, Kaylee Ray, and of course Mia Yim, who had the first match of this tournament that really got me excited. It ended up being her first appearance on WWE TV. Mia Yim, if you're not familiar with her from NXT, from TNA, as the Jade character she portrayed over there. I do that a lot. I always say NXT or TNA, and I mix them up, and I don't know why. Maybe it's just because of the end. I don't know, but let's not get sidetracked by that. All of these women were absolutely fantastic, but in the end, only two would remain. And this match for tonight's final round in Las Vegas, Nevada was great. Shayna Baszler, the American MMA badass, goes one-on-one for the Mae Young Classic Championship trophy with the Japanese pirate princess. She's friggin' awesome. Let me tell you something. Starting this whole tournament off, I was very, very afraid that Kairi Sane was going to be overhyped and overbooked and was going to win this tournament just based off the fact that, this is what the WWE's been doing. They're bringing in guys like Nakamura, and they're bringing in guys like Akira Tozawa, and you have Asuka, and I just figured they were going to, follow suit with everything that they'd been doing. But in this particular case, it is well deserved. Kairi Sane has had, in each round, the best match of that round, regardless who her opponent was. It was absolutely fantastic for her, and this match was another one in that string of great matches for Kairi Sane. Shayna Baszler, on the other hand, if you have been listening to me on this channel and you have been watching our Mae Young Classic coverage, you know I have not been high on Shayna Baszler at all. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that tonight she was amazing or she was fantastic, but tonight she was very good. Her moveset still does not appeal to me. She still was doing her little biff kicks, and she was still just a lot of suplexes and submissions, but I guess that's comes with the territory in an MMA style fighter that legit badass fighter. This is her character. This is what she's going to go with. This is what brought her to the dance, apparently, because this is what she did throughout the entirety of the tournament. But in this particular match, the pacing and the storytelling that took place in this ring just made me see what the WWE kind of sees in her. She knows what she's doing. It's just she doesn't appeal to me, my taste, and that's fine. She may be your taste, and that's fine too. But to me, I don't mind her being part of the company. I just don't see her being this figurehead, powerhouse, leader of the division type deal. It's just not where I see her. On the other hand, Kairi Sane definitely could be the face of the future on NXT, and this match proves why in spades, no pun intended. The Queen of Spades, Shayna Baszler, had this match from the get-go. It seemed as if she was toying with the tiny Japanese pirate, and she was very dominant. She did not let Kairi get anything going. She kept trying to hit her with that interceptor spear, and she just kept swatting her away like a fly. Keeping her at arm's distance, just toying with her at every turn. And the whole story of the first half of this match was Kairi just needed to get Shayna Baszler off her feet. She needed to start to establish her high-impact, high-octane offense, and she was not able to do that, countering the strength of Baszler. Until one tiny mistake would change the dynamic of this whole match, as Kairi Sane would finally hit that interceptor spear, not suplex, spear, and would damage Shayna Baszler's ribs. I'm not sure she was so good at selling this. I'm not sure whether or not she actually maybe might have cracked one of her ribs, or at the very least maybe it was bruised. It looked legit to me. She looked like she was really sucking wind. She was really hurt. The match kind of took a slight pause, but nothing long enough for you to really, get worried that this match was going to be called or that she was actually really injured. And it was at this point when she got injured that she actually became the best version of Shayna Baszler that I've ever seen. She was just great at selling. She did not stop for a minute. She also continued her attack. She did not allow the injury to stop her. And Kairi, no matter what, in this instance was just overpowered by the big Shayna Baszler at every single turn. She knew her only hope was to hit that Kairi Sane crazy pirate elbow, and on the first occasion she would go up to try it, she would end up wrapped up in that rear naked choke that I hate so much that Shayna Baszler does. That very basic, very simple submission move. There's no drama to it, but there was here, because when you apply a rear naked choke, your midsection is exposed. And Kairi Sane was smart enough to know that all I got to do is bash those broken ribs, and she did just that to be the first woman in this tournament to escape that rear naked choke. And from that point on, you can almost see the smooth sailing for the pirate lady all the way to the finish line, as she would just continue her attack on the ribs of Shayna Baszler, eventually making her way up to the top rope again, but Baszler would not let up. She would meet her up at the top of the turnbuckles. She would end up locking her in a Kimura lock on the top rope, but would be forced to let go due to the referee doing his job and counting the 5 count to get off the ropes. In this instance, Shayna Baszler found herself strung up Tree of Woe style. I almost said Twee of Woe. I'm not Elmer Fudd over here. Twee of Woe. You try to say it. Tree of Woe style, and then ended up hanging upside down, holding herself up, and Kairi Sane would come down with a double stomp, just like Alberto Del Rio used to do. And I'm not a very big fan of that move, because I think it makes the person on the receiving end look like an idiot for holding themselves up long enough to take the impact, where you can clearly just let go and drop down and avoid the 2 feet coming down at your solar plex area. But be that as it may, Kairi Sane nails this one right to the chest, ends up going back up to the top. Shayna Baszler in position and gets hit with that elbow drop. 1, 2, 3, our first ever Mae Young Classic champion, Mae Young Classic winner, Kairi Sane. I don't even think she's taller than the trophy, you guys. She is one tiny little package, but she's got power. And she has got the world wrapped up. These two girls, relatively unknown to a general WWE audience, came out there after they just had to sit through 2 hours of SmackDown, which was actually pretty good and probably very exhausting for them to sit through, and totally got invested in these girls in this match. They drew the crowd in. They got the crowd going. By the end of that match, the whole entire place went nuts for Kairi Sane. And it was amazing. It was a great night. It's historic. It's all the things that they want to say that it is. And my biggest concern is, where do we go from here? The Mae Young Classic, its first run, friggin' great. Where do we go from here, you guys? Where does the WWE go? They have to, obviously, fill in the roster here and there. So you bring everybody up from NXT. We already know Asuka's coming to Raw. Maybe you bring up Iconic, Billie Kay, and Peyton Royce. You bring them over to SmackDown, possibly. Don't split them up, because they only work together. I think separate right now is just, it's not the time for that. Keep the Iconic duo together wherever you want to bring them. Bring those girls up. Maybe even you bring up Liv Morgan. I'm not a big fan of Liv Morgan, but she's been around the block. You know, she's got a very Carmella-esque thing going on. Maybe you bring her up and add her into the mix on a SmackDown or on Raw, God forbid. And you fill in all these pieces of NXT with the girls from this tournament. Most especially the ones that I highlighted at the top of this thing. Tessa Blanchard, Bianca Belair, immediately, please. Please. I'm very, very privileged and happy to announce that at the House of Glory show at the end of this month on September the 29th at the Elks Lodge over here on Queens Boulevard in New York City, Tessa Blanchard will be debuting in her first ever House of Glory match, and I hope to high heavens that she will be made available to the public, and I will be more than happy to pay for a picture and an autograph if you're watching, Tessa, which I doubt you are because you got so much going on right now and you ain't watching a little guy like me. Well, maybe she is. Maybe I ain't that little, huh? Let's not get off point here. Piper Niven, Toni Storm, Dakota Kai. Fill in the blanks. These girls are fantastic. They are premier athletes. To even categorize them as women athletes is doing them a disservice. Some of the stuff we've seen in this tournament rivals the stuff that we see each and every week on a Monday and Tuesday night on a week-to-week basis. Some of these matches outperform some of the stuff that these guys do. And maybe you could chalk that up to what John Cena was saying. You know, once you get to Monday Night Raw and you get to the WWE, you know, you feel like you've made it, and that's the beginning of the end. And you just, all right, I've made it. I'm making money. I'm on the show I always wanted to be. I'm working for Vince McMahon. I'm collecting my paycheck, and I'm going to do what they say. I'm not going to fight for anything. I'm not going to push to be anything. I'm just going to do what they tell me to do and toe the line. And that's not how you're supposed to be. You know, back in the day, guys like Shawn Michaels and Triple H, they wouldn't be anywhere near where they are today. If they didn't speak up, voice their opinion, we would have never had China. But they fought and fought and fought for it. These people today just seem to me like they're not hungry. What does this have to do with the Mae Young Classic? That's why it comes off so great, because these are independent superstars that are not, you know, locked into anything with the WWE just yet, and they're hungry. And the desire and the passion comes out in the matches, and that is what wrestling is supposed to be about. WWE is McDonald's. They are corporate fucking America. They are Walmart. And quite frankly, even in modern day society, every day you and I wake up, you can go to Walmart, you can go to Target, and you can get everything you need. Or you can go to the little local place and get some top-notch stuff that you might not be able to see at that big corporate conglomerate thing. That's what's going on in wrestling, guys. The independent scene is full of hungry and passionate. That's the word. That's the most important word. Passionate performers. Ready to take the world by storm. Just like Toni Storm. And that's what she and the rest of these girls did throughout the duration of this Mae Young Classic. If I could make a few changes, I definitely wouldn't do the Netflix style all at once thing. Maybe that's just a prejudice to me. I do binge watch stuff. It's not that I don't enjoy to do that. It's just when I have to come on here and do the news and bring you guys reviews, it's very taxing. And it kind of makes it hard to try to program your stuff. Like, do I do all 4 episodes? Like, we have 16 matches in the first round. You know, the first 4 episodes are pretty much that. Do we just wrap them all up? Do 1 through 4? Like, what do you do? It makes it hard for a content creator, you know, and especially when you cover this stuff. But the 24-hour news cycle in the world of pro wrestling never stops. That's why it's a 24-hour news cycle. And I just feel like, you know, when you leave things out there for people to watch at their convenience, you're turning us here on YouTube into like spoilers and things like that, because I'm not sure like when people are going to be looking for the review. Did they watch it yet? How fast are they going to watch it? How fast were you guys into it? According to everything that I've gotten on this channel, you guys were very much into it every single time I dropped a video, and I hope that continues with this one. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Those are my thoughts and my views on everything that went down with the Mae Young Classic finals tonight. And a very, very good match for both of these girls. A very, very great showing for the WWE. This was not a bad tournament by any means. They did have a couple of stinkers. We are not going to go into that because some of the girls that did not perform that well in round 1, such as Bianca Belair, ended up blowing me away in their following and preceding contests that they would have at the rest of this tournament. We are going to wrap it up on that. We have to talk about SmackDown Live, and I'm not going to go into it right here for you right now. If you want to see that, you're going to have to click that video as soon as this one is over, and it will probably be up within the next few hours because I'm dropping this one first, and then we could talk about the Blue Brand and Sin City SmackDown, which actually was not too bad and had some pretty interesting final moments, and we will get into that on the SmackDown Live review coming at you guys shortly. I am Nick Nightmare. There's a Blue to Snowball microphone. This has been our coverage of the Mae Young Classic. We had a great time. I hope you guys had a great time. If you did, don't forget to smash that thumbs up. If you are not part of the Sledgehammer Club family, hit that subscribe button, ring a ding ding the subscribe bell next to that button, and you will always be kept up to date right down to the very second every time we drop a video here on YouTube. While you're down there hitting buttons, please don't forget to check the description and check out our sponsor, Clutch Chairs. Click that link in the description. It costs absolutely nothing. All you gotta do is go check out the chairs. Or maybe you want to see a desk. They got some desks there. I don't think there's any WWE desks, but there's WWE chairs. AJ Styles, Macho Man Randy Savage, Sasha Banks, Ultimate Warrior. Go check them out, man. Just go look at them. All you got to do, click the link below. That'll take you where you need to be and peruse to your heart's content. Check it out. Click the X. Say goodbye. Check the clutch. Check the clutch chairs. That's all you got to do for me. Thank you guys so much. That is going to do it. And we are out of here. And we will see you next time right here on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Mae Young, hope you're proud. Because I am. Have a good one.